Hey guys, so when I look at all these incredible catalysts that XRP has lined up for Q4 this year, I honestly can't wrap my head around how this coin won't absolutely make history again, just like it did in that insane Q4 run last year. And listen, if you remember what happened back then, XRP literally exploded from around 50 cents all the way up to almost $3.40 in that crazy short time frame. Absolutely wild, right? So we're looking at just this October to January window, right? And XRP is still sitting pretty at around $2.80. But here's the thing, with all these amazing catalysts brewing around XRP, plus this incredible crypto environment we're seeing in the US and globally, guys, I honestly can't wrap my head around how XRP won't absolutely explode past that $4.00 mark. We're talking about hitting those sweet $7.00 to $10.00 targets, maybe even going beyond that by year end as we roll into Q1 2026. But wait, here's what I really want to dive into with you today. What do you think is the absolute biggest catalyst driving XRP right now? What's got everyone absolutely buzzing right now? It's got to be the ETFs. Let's keep it real. ETFs are basically the game-changing catalyst that has everyone glued to their screens, waiting to see which altcoin scores that first approval. Now, here's my take. I'm still betting big that XRP is going to be the front runner to snag the very first altcoin ETF approval in the US. And listen, if I'm right about this, we're talking about XRP absolutely exploding in value. Picture this, those ETF inflows alone could literally send XRP soaring right alongside Ethereum and Bitcoin. Seriously, I think people are completely sleeping on just how massive this spot ETF could be for XRP. Now check this out. I stumbled across this Cointelegraph post that absolutely blew my mind. Here's why it's so crazy. Cointelegraph has never been XRP's biggest fan. Remember back in 2020 when that lawsuit dropped, they were first in line throwing shade at XRP for years. And I mean years, they've been throwing punches at Ripple and XRP nonstop. But here's the wild part. Lately, everything's changed. You can literally watch it happening in real time, right? Suddenly everyone's jumping on the XRP and Ripple bandwagon because, well, now it's trendy. Oh, absolutely. We've got to stay super positive about this because honestly, the complete 180 everyone's doing is just mind blowing. Even those hardcore Bitcoin maxis are totally switching sides now. It's actually hilarious how fast people change their tune. But here's where it gets exciting. Check out this analysis from XRP Eyes. They are calling for a massive 85% rebound that could rocket XRP all the way up to $4.80. Now that's what I'm talking about. Let me break down the juicy details for you. First up, yeah, XRP took a bit of a hit. We're looking at almost a 20% dip over 45 days. And it's been hanging out in this descending triangle pattern, getting cozy around that $2.70 support level. But both on-chain data and futures markets are screaming that leverage is resetting. Plus, we're seeing those beautiful early accumulation signals popping up everywhere, which means way less liquidation drama ahead. When you've got a fair value gap lining up perfectly with those Fibonacci retracement levels and fractal patterns all pointing in the same direction, that's screaming potential 60% to 84% bounce heading into Q4. Now, look, I'm not putting all my eggs in this basket, okay? But here's what's got me excited. If we actually see this thing rocket back up to those previous highs we hit before, we're talking about easily smashing through that $4.00 mark, no problem. We smashed through that $4.85 mark right as Q4 kicks off, and boom, we're looking at XRP rocketing past $10.00 before New Year's Eve. And listen, I'm not just being optimistic here. The sheer buzz and buying frenzy around XRP is going to be absolutely mental. But hey, let's keep it real for a second. This is assuming the stars align perfectly. Truth is, nobody has a crystal ball here. XRP could throw us a curveball heading into Q4. So we've got to stay laser focused on those ETF updates dropping left and right. Because here's my take. That ETF decision, that's our make or break moment right there. I mean, the whole crypto world is just holding their breath, refreshing their feeds, waiting for that golden announcement. And listen, ETFs are carrying some serious momentum for altcoins right now. That's undeniable. But hold up. I want to show you guys this clip because it's actually from CoinDesk. And here's what's wild. They're basically in the same boat as Cointelegraph, right? These outlets barely gave Ripple and XRP the time of day until suddenly it became trendy to cover them. So get this. Here's what Zafe Crypto is reporting from CoinDesk. XRP awaits ETF catalyst. XRP slipped 4%, but October is when everything changes. That's when the SEC drops their decision on spot XRP ETFs. And institutional money, they're watching like hawks right now. Just one approval could literally flip that switch and unleash an absolute monster bull run. Listen to this.
Let's take a look at the chart of the day. XRP dropped 4% today after rejecting resistance at $2.88, even as speculation for a spot ETF builds. Despite underperforming the broader market, the token has shown resilience as institutional accumulation battles short-term selling pressure. Key regulatory decisions by the SEC on a spot XRP ETF are expected in October and could serve as a major bullish catalyst for the asset. As of time of recording, XRP was at $2.82. That's it for today's chart of the day. I'm Jen Sanasi. We'll see you next.
We've also got some juicy intel coming in from Zafe Crypto. And let me tell you, this XRP ETF buzz is absolutely legit, folks. So get this. Bloomberg's senior analyst just dropped the confirmation that XRP futures and products are rolling out right after Solana's launch. And guess what? They're seeing way more interest already. This XRP ETF might just become the institutional darling for the long haul. Demand's building, momentum's growing. You gotta listen to this.
I would have thought Solana would do pretty well, but we have Solana futures products that could be a decent indicator. And we have the Solana product now that has staking. And ironically,
and how are they doing?
Pretty good, actually. But ironically enough, there's also leverage futures XRP and XRP products. Mm-hmm. They actually launched after the Solana products and had even more interest. So there's a lot of interest there. Is it going to be the level of interest that the Bitcoin ETF launch had? Absolutely not. Like anyone who thinks like, oh, Bitcoin ETFs took in 40 billion. My, XRP ETF is going to take in the same amount or whatever. That's just not how this is going to work. These are longer tail assets. I think there will be demand. There will probably be multiple products for each of these assets to do well. Maybe not all 10 of the ones I listed, but a decent amount of them.
Now look, he's definitely not over there daydreaming like, boom, XRP is about to absolutely demolish Bitcoin ETFs and steal the whole show. You feel me? Listen, folks, trying to predict this stuff is like throwing darts blindfolded. Literally anything could happen, and we'd all just be sitting here like, well, didn't see that coming for the day. But here's where my brain immediately goes when we're talking XRP ETFs, battling it out with Bitcoin ETFs. I'm instantly side-eyeing Ethereum and how those ETH ETFs have been performing. And dude, they've been straight up fire. When I look back at 2017, 2018, and even before that, XRP was actually trading above Ethereum. Pretty wild, right? That's why I genuinely think XRP could give Ethereum ETFs a real run for their money. And here's the thing. We've already seen Ethereum ETFs go head to head with Bitcoin ETFs this year and actually hold their own. So that gets me thinking, what if XRP ETFs could pull off the same trick? Imagine XRP rallying against both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now that would be something. Look, is it guaranteed to happen? Honestly, probably not. But hey, that's what makes this space so exciting. We're taking it one step at a time here, and obviously we still need that approval first. But man, the possibilities are pretty fascinating to think about. All right, pump the brakes for a second here. But dude, have you seen Polymarket lately? They're sitting at 94% odds for a Ripple ETF approval in 2025. And between you and me, I'm thinking those numbers are being way too conservative. Look, I'm practically willing to bet the farm that we're staring at 100% certainty here. Mark my words, before 2024 closes its books, we're going to witness that ETF approval drop. And that's when the fireworks really start, my friends, because this isn't just some random approval. This is the moment that changes everything. We're talking about the ultimate showdown between these fresh altcoin ETFs and the heavyweight champions, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Plus, and this is huge, we'll finally get our answer about whether institutions are genuinely thirsty for XRP or just window shopping. Buckle up. So get this. Grayscale just threw a party for their XRP Trust's first birthday. We're talking about XRP here, guys, the powerhouse token running the XRP ledger that's absolutely crushing it with lightning fast, dirt cheap payments. And now they're expanding into smart contracts with those sick ledger extensions. They celebrated this milestone on September 5th, by the way. But here's why I'm getting pumped about this anniversary. Grayscale isn't just any player in this game. They're the heavy hitter when it comes to XRP ETFs. These guys are literally first in line to get their verdict on the XRP ETF decision. And drumroll, please, that's happening October 18th, folks. This isn't some random company we're talking about. Grayscale's got serious skin in the game, and they're about to find out if they're the first to crack the XRP ETF code. October is absolutely insane for XRP ETF decisions. I'm talking about back-to-back-to-back announcements here. This is wild stuff. But here's where it gets really interesting. Picture this scenario with me for a second. We're hitting the end of September, right? So here's what I'm thinking. We just got that Fed rate cut in September. And you know what happens next? The markets go absolutely bonkers. Because here's the thing, when the Fed cuts rates, that's basically the green light for the M2 money supply to shoot straight up. It's like clockwork every single time. Suddenly everyone's scrambling to own actual assets, right? Like people are going absolutely crazy trying to grab pieces of the stock market. They're diving headfirst into crypto, snatching up gold and silver left and right. I'm telling you, every single market is about to absolutely explode during this period. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. XRP starts going nuts as we roll into October. Then boom, later that month, October 18th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, 24th, 25th, we're looking at these massive ETF spot decisions dropping for XRP, one right after another. And listen, if these actually get the green light, that whole environment becomes insanely bullish, guys. Rate cuts are dropping like confetti. Market liquidity is flowing like a freaking waterfall. The entire market's having this wild party. And XRP? Oh my gosh, it's making this epic comeback. We're watching it climb back to that juicy $3 sweet spot, maybe even catapulting into that mind-blowing $4+ zone. And this whole fireworks show is happening right when these ETF decisions start dropping. Listen, if you tried to script a more insane, perfect setup for XRP, Hollywood would laugh you out of the room. It's like watching all the dominoes perfectly align and then just chef's kiss following into place beautifully. But wait, there's more. Check out this gem I discovered scrolling earlier today. I'm literally nodding my head so hard because this person gets it completely. Welcome back to Jungle Inc. And wow, do we have some incredible crypto numbers to share with you today. But check this out. We're looking at 2 years of absolutely wild performance here. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum, yeah, they definitely came flying out strong after that brutal 2022 bottom we all remember. But XRP just completely stole the show with a jaw-dropping 456% surge. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck drove this insane rally? Well, buckle up because there's actually a whole bunch of catalysts happening here. First off, we saw the fastest CME futures contract in history hit $1 billion, 0 cents in open interest. Like that's just nuts. Then you've got this spot XRP ETF potentially coming down the pipeline. Plus, and this is huge, the EVM sidechain integration with RLUSD and USDC is seriously pumping up that XRP ledger liquidity. Throw in some major institutional DeFi action and Robinhood's derivatives expansion, and boom, bottom line, alt season just wrapped up, folks. XRP is absolutely on fire right now, and honestly, it's not hitting the brakes anytime soon. Look, this is exactly why I've been telling you guys the whole vibe around XRP is way more bullish than most people realize. And here's the thing. So many folks are totally sleeping on just how crazy the demand for XRP could get as we roll into Q4 and, man, potentially even heading into 2026. Now, listen, nobody's got a crystal ball about when this market peaks, right? We're literally taking this journey one day at a time. But here's what's got me absolutely locked and loaded. The massive bullish potential we're seeing with XRP right now. Listen up, crypto fam. Every single XRP catalyst we called out, they're literally all coming true right before our eyes. SEC lawsuit, done. Institutional money flooding in, check. And don't even get me started on those futures contracts. They're seeing absolutely bonkers demand. These guys are straight up dominating everything they touch. But yo, here's what's got me really hyped. That EVM sidechain is looking absolutely fire because smart contracts on XRP's ledger are going completely parabolic right now. And that everyone's forgetting about, that Robinhood derivatives platform, yeah, that beast is still lurking in the shadows, ready to drop at any moment. Trust me, that's going to be an absolute game changer when it finally goes live. So we haven't gotten any updates on that yet, but honestly, the whole crypto scene right now is just getting more exciting by the day. I mean, I totally thought we'd hit our peak somewhere around Q2 this year, you know, with all that trade war drama and tariff talk hanging over us like this dark cloud. I figured it would definitely put the brakes on things, but here's the crazy part. None of that stuff even phased the market. It just kept charging forward like nothing happened. Guys, the announcements just keep rolling in like a freight train. Every single day, there's more crypto adoption news and XRP. Dude, it's like Christmas morning every week with all this incredible stuff happening. That's why I'm sitting here thinking there's this giant spring coiled up tight behind XRP's price, just waiting to absolutely launch. But here's my take. We won't see that rocket ship take off until the altcoin party really gets started. And shout out to 0x Reflection, because they absolutely crushed it with their analysis on this whole thing. He just dropped a bomb saying the next 3 months are going to be more important than the entire last 2 years. I know, sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. Don't let the current chart shake you up, because this is exactly what the picture looks like right now. Listen up, crypto fam. We're sitting pretty in this massive uptrend. And we're literally dancing right around those legendary 2021 all-time highs. Can you believe it? The moment, and I mean the moment, we smash through this resistance level, it's going to be absolutely insane. We're talking about a rocket ship to the moon for altcoins, people. I'm telling you, we're about to witness this incredible surge that's going to sweep across the entire altcoin market. The liquidity, the moves, the gains, it's all going to be explosive. And honestly, this is exactly where our attention needs to be laser focused right now. This is it, guys. Look, I totally get it. The price action has been absolutely brutal lately, right? I know we've all been watching this choppy mess, and honestly, it's been pretty rough out there. But here's the thing. Let's take a step back and really look at what's happening around us. I want you to pause for a second and think about where this market might actually be going. And here's what's really interesting. Think about what we've seen before when markets get into situations exactly like this one. I got to be real with you right now. If you're just staring at those price charts and ignoring everything else that's happening, you're probably going to panic sell at the worst possible moment and totally kick yourself later. All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's video. I really hope this helped you out and gave you some solid perspective. If it did, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and definitely ring that notification bell so you never miss the free value I'm dropping here. Seriously appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.